I'm having breakfast with Mary Lee. Yo-do-do-do-dee. I'm having breakfast with Mary Lee.
I sort of had a hunch that it was extraordinarily cold this morning when I noticed the penguins singing on my windowsill. Speaking of the cold, my guest on the podcast this week is somebody that helps keep people warm. Mike Perry is the Iron Man of the woodlot. His story of kindness and goodwill coming up. Right now, though, it's time for your Brain Buster. Close to 30% of men do this on a daily basis while driving. Do what on a daily basis while driving? Is it A, talk to their car, B, cuss, or C, sing to the radio? Your answer revealed after the interview. So this week, some miserably cold temperatures. Please remember your outdoor pets. Bring them inside. And if I may, it is so cold outside today. And you say, how cold is it? It was so cold this morning my frosted flakes had real frost on them. It's so cold, the George Washington statue on Cork Street had his hands in his pockets. It's so cold out there today, if you suck on an ice cube, it's just going to get bigger. And now a heartwarming story to take the chill out of the podcast. With this cold weather, there's a lot of people that are going to be going cold because they can't afford the heat. But I wanted to introduce you to somebody that's well known in this area. When I say the name Mike Perry, most everybody's going to think, oh, Blue Ridge Bicycles or Winchester Wheelman. The other way that he stays fit is by cutting and splitting wood and delivering it to those in need. And Mike, so proud of what you do and the long history you have of doing this. How did this all get started? It was you and who?
Myself and Bill Huehn. We started cutting wood together and then got a splitter, and next thing I know we had extra wood, and so we thought, what are we going to do with it? And CCAP came to mind, and that was the beginning.
So you all were just out there cutting wood for yourself?
Exactly. That's what we were doing.
So you had a surplus. How many years ago was that?
That was 13 years ago, Barry.
And by chance, have you kept track of how many loads you've delivered?
I don't have the exact number. I know we're above 1,200 loads right now.
Oh, my word. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And this is hard work.
It's good exercise. It really is.
When you deliver this wood, you get the satisfaction also of the gratitude of the people that are receiving it.
Absolutely. I've yet to have someone who didn't come out and say thank you. Some people try to pay me, offer me money. I said, no, I'm here to help you, not take your money.
Yeah.
And they say, well, that's interesting. So,
are the biggest majority of requests, do they come through CCAP?
All the firewood comes through CCAP. We do that for CCAP, and it just works out well for us and for them.
How many chainsaw chains do you go through a year?
Usually 4 or 5 chainsaw chains. Depends on whether I'm in a fence line or not. I'm going to get wire. But I get about 8 and 9 truckloads, though, out of a fresh chain that's been sharpened, or either that or it's new.
Yeah. So you talked about Bill Huehn helping you get started with this, and he's still active, and I don't think he would mind us saying how old he is.
Bill turned 92 on January the 7th.
Unbelievable.
Well, we celebrate birthday. Mine's on the 6th and his is on the 7th. So every year we switch back and forth. One year it'll be his birthday and then my birthday.
Well, that's one way to stay young, only counting every other year.
Right.
And before you go, we're going to talk about your bicycling all over the country, and you hold some kind of a record for being in the Alps?
I was the first American to ride across all the Swiss Alpine passes. There were 77 mountains.
This guy is the Iron Man. Actually, he's the wood man. So when it's cold weather like this, because I know that you still like to ride, but what about when the weather's cold?
I have a new system called Swift, spelled with a Z, and it's a great interactive thing that I get on the internet. And I can ride with friends anywhere in the world. I can ride now in France and England, Italy.
So basically it's a stationary bike?
Yeah, you have to have the internet connection, and you put your bike into this device, and then it records what you're doing, and it's pretty accurate, pretty amazing. You can draft off the person in front of you. They have mountains to climb, and when they start up the mountain, it gets harder and harder.
And so you can literally ride with your buddy who's clear across the country.
That's right. He's in Washington State, Ferndale, Washington, and we get online and ride together.
Wow. Well, I'll let you get going. You've got a truckload here. This is 1,200 and who knows? Yeah, 201. Thank you for what you do, Mike.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you very much.
What a blessing that 13 years ago, Bill Huehn and Mike Perry would decide to share their overabundance of wood with CCAP and those less fortunate. Time now to check out the podcast planner, nationaldaycalendar.com, and let me just say that last Thursday, the Community Foundation of the Northern Shenandoah Valley celebrated their Community Stars. A tip of the headphones and a big thank you to John and Joyce Marlowe. This couple has served in so many capacities to the Front Royal Warren County community and beyond, and some beautiful tributes were made to these two beautiful people. So back to the calendar. Monday the 15th, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's the third Monday in January. He was born January 15th, 1929. Clergyman, activist, and civil rights movement leader that advanced the cause using nonviolent disobedience. Tuesday the 16th, it's National Nothing Day. And need I say more? It's also National Fig Newton Day. Just us kids' luck growing up that our father's favorite cookie was the Fig Newton. Sure, we would rather have had Hydrox or chocolate chip, but we ended up eating them because they were sweet and the only cookies in the house a lot of times. Wednesday the 17th, it's National Classy Day, celebrating those who are graced with the ability to live their lives with class, passion, and who are driven to share it with others. It's observed on the birthday of a classy lady, Betty White. Thursday the 18th, it's Winnie the Pooh Day. It's the birthday of author A.A. Milnes, who brought the bear to life with his stories. Friday the 19th, National Popcorn Day. Isn't it amazing how when you go out for dinner and a movie, you could stuff yourself silly during dinner, and yet you walk into that movie theater, you smell that popcorn, and even though you're stuffed, you gotta have it. A little side note, in the 1500s, Aztecs used popcorn in headdresses worn during ceremonies honoring the god of maize and fertility. Saturday the 20th, it's National Use Your Gift Card Day. They estimate that there are $1 billion worth of unused gift cards each year. And Sunday the 20th, it's National Hugging Day, one way to stay warm, and Squirrel Appreciation Day. When you feed the birds the sunflowers and peanuts, just set a little extra out there for the squirrels. All right, let's see how you did on the Brain Buster. In a recent survey, close to 30% of men say that they do this on a daily basis while driving. Is it A, talk to their car, B, cuss, or C, sing to the radio? And the answer, A, talk to their car. And on mornings like we're having this week, we especially talk to that car. Please start, baby, please start. Thanks so much for joining me on the podcast. Remember to share my website, breakfastwithbarrylee.com, with others, and they can listen to the podcast too. And if I could leave this cold weather tip for the guys out there, nothing says love like preheating the toilet seat for her with the blow dryer. Remember your pets. Have a blessed week. Stay warm.